This is Comic Geek Speak, episode 84. Welcome to Comic Geek Speak. I'm Brian Deemer.
I'm Jamie D.
I'm Peter Rios.
We are sexy bitches, yeah!
And this is the wonderful 84th episode of Comic Geek Speak. This episode is sponsored by pixelstrips.com. 12 free comics every Wednesday. Stop by pixelstrips.com to get your comic fix with the best action, sci-fi, horror, and manga comics online. At pixelstrips.com, you'll find a mix of art and stories. Not just your typical hero stuff, although you can find that also. But you'll also find traditional Sunday comics, manga, horror, sci-fi, and good old-fashioned adventure serial stories. And that includes, what am I trying to say? Athena Voltaire? One of the guys who... is Athena Voltaire on that site? I think... Or is it separate? But one of the guys... colors Athena Voltaire has something to do with...
Maybe he has his own strip?
Yeah, but now I just, But I got an email. This is going to be an extended sponsorship here. Let me see. Okay, here, I got it from the guy who runs the place. He says, thanks for talking about Athena. Chad Fiddler and I are the colorists on the book. Okay, so Kevin, the guy who runs pixelstrips.com, is one of the colorists on Pixelstrips. So, yeah, so I guess it's not on pixelstrips.com, but they're responsible for it. Okay. Very good.
That clears that up.
That clears that up. And they got some new... Hang on, I'm pulling it up here. They got some new... they got some new strips on there. Dr. Albany. The second coming is fast approaching, and the battle over future control of heaven, hell, and here sends Satan's demons into our world, relentlessly searching for the new mother of Christ. If evil demonizes the host mother during her full term of pregnancy, this newborn will be born into darkness and controlled by Satan, allowing evil to affix its stranglehold around all three realms forevermore. It's I got a picture of it here, and it's kind of like a blend of photography with comic drawing and stuff. It looks kind of interesting. And then there's another one.
It didn't sound like it was going to be like a Disney or something like that.
And then there's another one. Nor Prodigy, Nor Dreams. The story of Black Coyote, a Comanche mercenary and caravan guide in a cyberpunk Western world. And this art looks really pretty cool to me.
The storyline sounds cool.
Yeah, it does. I love cyberpunk, and so check it out at pixelstrips.com. Online comics, one pixel at a time.
Hey, wait a second.
A word on our November contest. The entries are all in the hands of DCBS, and they are currently picking a winner. So when they have selected one, we will let you know who is the winner. So if you entered and you're anxiously awaiting, hang on a little more. The votes are being cast right now. And our Book of the Month Club for December is Animal Man Volume 1 trade paperback by Grant Morrison. Who draws that?
Chaz Trog? What's his name? First name? Chaz Trog or something?
Yeah, it's now that you say it, I kind of remember it. I'm honestly not 100% sure.
Okay, there you go. But if you're interested in joining us for a discussion on that, if you don't have the book, you can get it from InStockTrades.com for 40% off, as well as volumes 2 and 3 if you would like.
See, I'm reading that along with all you guys, so I'm really not sure exactly who it was.
And here it has, in the first one, it has it listed as CTRUOG. Tom Grummett also does.
He does one or two.
Yeah. And for the next one, they have Various. So
I like his work, Various.
Yeah, he's very consistent.
Yes. Consistently different.
That's right.
And all three of those trades were on DCBS In Stock Trades top 5 for the week. last week.
What, Animal Man?
Yep.
Really?
All 3.
Oh, nice.
So I think
The power of CGS reigns supreme.
as far as Book of the Month goes, that's the fastest something like that has jumped up. Because number 1 was the first volume, and 2 and 3 were like around, I don't know, maybe the 3rd and 4th or 4th and 5th, something
Awesome.
like that. So, yep.
And the cool thing was, I don't know if it was still on there, but a couple weeks ago, Fables Volume 3 cracked the top 5. And probably that was people who bought Volume 1, because we talked about it, and then eventually bought 2, and now up to 3. So it just keeps going. It's great. Hey, we got our first Christmas card. It's from Alan Lake of Lake Design in Pennsylvania, out towards Pittsburgh. So that's very cool. Gotta love the Christmas cards.
Yeah.
And it never even occurred to me that we'd be getting Christmas cards, and then one shows up, it's like, whoa. And I got a postcard. I'm very excited. This one's from Madagascar. Alan Irwin, of all the names, he presumably an American or a Canadian who has relocated to Madagascar. But it's got I think this might be my first stamp from Madagascar. Certainly my first postcard from Madagascar, so that's very cool. If you're a relatively new listener and you don't know, I have a postcard collection, and so I've asked any CGS listeners who are so inclined to send me a postcard, and I did just put, I think, 4 more on the website in the last couple days. So Bob from California sent us 2. Bob, right? Bob. Oh boy, now it's probably not Bob. No, but Bob's a listener in California. Let me check.
I say, I'm sure there would be at least one.
Yeah, it's Bob. He sent us 2 from a trip that he took up the coast in California, and we got one from Jeremy in Utah, and I got one from Mick in China. Cool. He's an Irish photographer who is doing some work in China. He's living there for a little while, and so that's my first one from China for sure. It's great.
I'll have to check those out. I haven't even seen those.
And the guy from Australia, one of the guys, I can't remember his name, but he sent me some stamps a while back, some cancel stamps, because I also collect stamps, and then he sent me a huge envelope of stamps. I mean, it must have a couple hundred stamps in it. It was awesome. Cool. So that's another thing I collect. If you're anywhere other than the United States and you get mail, letters or whatever, and you want to clip the stamps out of the corner of the envelope and save them up when you get 10 or 20 or 30 and send them off to us, that would be awesome, because it helps my stamp collection tremendously. So many people just throw away their stamps, so might as well.
And Peter and I would like to talk about our dollar bill collection that we have. And if you want to send us, dollar bills, we'll be more than happy to take them. I'm joking. Honestly, I am joking.
I do always, whenever I travel abroad, I do always save a little bit of the foreign currency. I try to get like one of each coin, and then like a $1 or a $5 bill, like a $1, a £1 note, or a €1 note, or whatever the equivalent is. Not that I'm expecting people to send me money. It's just another thing I collect. That collector mentality, you can't escape it. If there's anything, but see, it's cool now. I mean, I don't have any, but I wish I had some of the old Italian lira and the French francs, because now they don't have them anymore. Right. So that would have been cool to have. Yeah. So,
are you going to get the superhero postcards that are going to come out from the Postal Service here next year?
You mean the superhero stamps?
Superhero stamps, excuse me.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, the DC stuff. And that's another question. I do have a request for U.S. stamps. Is if you have any of those Muppet stamps, any canceled Muppet stamps that you were just going to pitch or whatever, clip them and send them to me. I would love that. I mean, I could go buy them. A sheet of stamps only costs like $8 or whatever, but...
Yeah, my dad bought one of those, and they're really neat. It really is, because there's also like a Jim Henson stamp on it, too.
Yeah, we were going to buy those and use them for our Christmas card stamp. So
we'll have to ask Shane if he got those.
I'm sure he did.
Because I'm definitely going to get one of the, 1 or 2 pages of those superhero ones.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's really neat. Yeah.
All right. Do an email or 2?
Yeah.
Let me pull them up here. I had all that time while I was talking, and I got so distracted. Oh, let's see. Oh, I think I'll save that one for an Infinite Crisis episode.
If you haven't, checked out the Quarters in the Jar link on our website for see if maybe your email popped up in there.
Here's one from Mike Pampanella. Excuse me. What's happening, geeks? I'm behind in the podcast, so I just listened to the discussion regarding the various comic ages. In other words, I might just be echoing someone else's thoughts on the issue. I believe the age of comics that we currently reside in is truly the age of the story-driven comic. I've been reading comics since the early 80s, and I remember a lot of one-shot stories and issues of comics that lacked a cohesive plot in general. Since then, the story content has improved tenfold, the use of actual dramatic plot devices has increased, and stories tend to last longer than the 22 pages allotted for one issue. I guess my point is that we should break from the rigidity of the age naming system and go with something that actually describes what makes the comics worth reading. It ought to be the literary age. This will be known as the age in which comics were finally recognized as a true form of literature, and not because someone in a textbook said so, but because this generation's comics told stories that were worth reading and discussing. What do you think about that? Peter probably says no because he hates the whole extended storyline sometimes because it's forced.
No, I think what he's saying is that it's not just episodic. The issues,
No, I know what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's our job, or I don't think we have any kind of clear vision of what this age is going to be. We'll let people 20, 30 years down the road determine what it is.
That's the thing. When you try to, while you're in the midst of it, you can't see the forest through the trees, so you got to wait till it's over and then you decide.
Yeah, because if you're going to name it, it's going to have to go all the way back to the 80s, because that's, to me, where the literary age, if he's saying, started, with the Sandman and your Dark Knight Returns and your Watchmen and all that. So yeah, to name, it's kind of the way I feel about the label that my generation's been given of Generation X. We kind of gave that to ourselves, and you don't give yourselves a label. You kind of let somebody else put that label on you, and I just kind of shake my head when we put a label on the era that we're living in right now. So let history label us.
So when we're 60, we can talk about this.
Right.
We'll be on Comic Geek Speak.
I hope I'm not still here doing this with you guys.
Geek.
You son of a bitch.
When I'm
Say, screw you.
Well, maybe we'll be making millions on it by then, and it'll be our livelihood.
Okay.
Well, so you don't want to be our friend for life.
So what's your long-term goal then, Peter? How many more episodes do you have in you? Is that what you're telling me?
After the Stan Lee one, aren't we done? No.
He's jumping ship. He's moving out to San Francisco, and that's going to be it.
That's right. It's going to be the I Love Peter podcast.
No, We Read Comics podcast.
Oh, Jesus.
Love you, Lena.
In 60 years from now, I mean, not 60 years from now, 30 years from now, Jesus.
Well, I hope we'd all still be friends. That's the whole thing. The way you're talking is like we aren't going to be friends.
No,
Screw you.
That. I think the technology by then is that we're just going to be able to
sit in our own house.
Yeah,
and do this.
yes, yeah. And
it won't be the same.
It'll be by video, and everybody will just watch us or something. I don't know.
But why would you want to watch us? We could be making a video podcast right now, but it'd be kind of boring.
I truly have the face for radio, so I don't know if anybody really needs to see my puss on live.
My puss.
Okay, moving on. This one, I think I'm going to read it, and I think we'll save the answers for another podcast. But this is from Michael David Sims, Yoda, on the forums, from earth-2.net. And he says, "Hey guys, I have an idea for a possible topic. I would love to hear you discuss your favorite comic book of all time. Mind you, I don't mean your favorite series or arc. I mean your favorite single issue." So, I don't even know how you even decide that, but we can...
I've said it on the podcast numerous times.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I don't remember. What is it?
Mine, it is This Land Is Mine. I don't know the number of it, but it's a Fantastic Four burn issue. It's...
Quick punch up comicdatabase.com and see if it's on there. Do a title search.
I don't know if I really want to spoil it, but it basically... The storyline brought Doom back into power in Latveria after the Fantastic Four in, I guess, issue 200 had taken him out of power. They realized that they had made a mistake, and it was just one of those issues that you usually don't see the superhero make the mistake type deal, and it was one of the first times I had seen in a Marvel book that a writer said, well, maybe in our gust to be the heroes, we took away somebody that was actually beneficial to the country, even though he was a megalomaniac trying to take over the world. He was the right leader for this country, and it was just a well-drawn issue. One of the issues that makes Doom my all-time favorite bad guy, and just check it out. I mean, it's been reprinted in the Byrne Visionaries. I believe they like 2 or 3. They reprinted that one in.
I think it was 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it isn't 3, then it's one that's coming out this week. The volume 4 Visionaries is coming out.
Wait, is it volume 5?
Volume 5?
So then it might have been in volume 4
volume 4, okay. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it has been. It hasn't been entered on comicbookdb.com. So somebody who's listening, go out and enter it. I think we should. I was thinking about this. I was thinking when we did the Gene Colan episode. After that episode aired, we should have had everybody go enter every Gene Colan book, and then we did Stan Lee, and have everybody enter. Try to rally together and find a Stan Lee book that hasn't been entered.
Right.
And so I don't know whatever we'll talk about. Whatever we talk about in each episode, go hit that up, and it'll keep it fresh. It'll give you something different to enter that maybe you were in a rut on something else. There are some Byrne Fantastic Four issues, but they only have 201 to 220, and then there's some missing issues, so it could have been in there somewhere or something. Or the title of the issue is different from what it said on the cover or something, maybe? I don't know. But
no, I know that for a fact. That one's called This Land Is Mine.
I could look at the cover gallery, though, and see if...
Yeah, you could, because it's Doom standing over a Latvian backdrop with like his hands clutched.
Let's see here. Well, this website rocks.
I just put in the full run of Suicide Squad the other night. All 60-some issues.
I saw you're over 400 entries now.
Yeah.
I still have to finish my own challenge, and I'm up to 13. I need to get to 20. It's my promise. I'm still working. Yeah, it's not. They don't have that one in here yet. So somebody get on that. All right. Let me find one more email here.
What about you guys?
I was trying to think. I'm going to have to go back to my collection. I can't pull one out.
God, yeah, I mean, that's
I don't even know, like what you said about the parameters, is it something that stays with me because it's, I have some emotional investment in it, or is it just one that really just blew my socks off? I don't know.
And we all know how I remember, like, no details from anything I read, so trying to... Usually what I like and dislike is kind of just like a whole collection of ideas and thoughts, not necessarily specifics. That's really, really difficult. Man, I'd have to like sit there and look at my collection. And
I even have another one that's up there.
Well, go right ahead.
The other one is from the same run, same Byrne Fantastic Four run. It was the only Secret Wars 2 storyline, which I thought was, crossover story, which I thought was really good. It was the one about the Torch's biggest fan, this little boy who wanted to be the Torch, and idolized him, and he was just a little kid who was like a latchkey kid. Parents didn't really care about him. Well, I guess they cared about him, but they were always working, and he didn't have any friends, so one day he just wanted to be the Torch so bad he lit himself on fire. And it dealt with the Torch, Johnny Storm actually having to take some responsibility for himself, and then basically Beyonder showed him that it wasn't his fault, and it was this kid didn't have a great life, and the only good thing in his life was the Human Torch, and that's what he should take out of this. He shouldn't take, because he goes to visit him in the hospital, and his parents are like, his mother like slaps Johnny Storm in the face, how dare you, and all this, and it's like, lady, maybe if you had paid more attention to your kid, he wouldn't have done this for attention. It was just, again, a strong issue. It kind of struck home, I won't say the lonely kid, but I kind of empathized with the kid a little bit, and I just thought it was a very strong story, And it's one I always remember when people ask me what my favorite books are.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I'll have to get back to you because I don't really have any idea at the moment. All right, another email from Hannah. Hey, CGS, I found your podcast 2 weeks ago, and ever since then I've been going around the archives. Eventually I would get to all of them. My mom got me into comics when I was 5. If it had words and was in book form and I wanted to read it, she was all over it. Superman was my first comic. The Man of Steel has always been my favorite superhero and still is. My best friend and I have an ongoing argument over who would win in a fight, Superman or Batman. He's delusional in thinking Batman would win. Poor guy. I read mostly DC until the X-Men and Spider-Man movies came out. Then I started picking up Marvel stuff as well. About women in comic book stores, here is my take. As a woman, lady, girl, chick, whatever, I have only once been in a comic store that was creepy and unfriendly to girls. The comic store that I frequent, Earth 2 in Sherman Oaks, California, is well lit and inviting to everyone. In fact, it is one of my favorite places to go. All the guys who work there are helpful and polite. They don't hang all over you and try to see what you are buying. If anyone is ever in the LA area, they should check Earth 2 out. I also wanted to give Tokyo Pop major props. If you sign up on their site, they will send you a free manga magazine, which I believe you get quarterly. It's not just a few pages put together showing the new titles coming out. It's 145 pages of interviews, previews, and other neat stuff. And the best part is that it's free. I've known people who have never been into manga and signed up to get the manga magazine, and since then have started to buy manga. DC and Marvel should do something like that. Maybe they will attract new readers. I know that Previews has what's coming up, but you have to pay for it. Just a thought. Also, if DC, Marvel, or Dark Horse were to put books out with 4 or 5 different titles in them, I would definitely pick that up. Hope to meet some of you guys in San Diego this summer. CGS rocks. From Hannah in LA. So I guess LA is more comic girl reader friendly or something.
Less creepy stores. You know, I signed up for that Tokyo Pop thing and still haven't gotten a damn thing.
I got it.
I didn't.
I just got it, I think it was like a week ago it came, or 2 weeks ago.
Maybe I'll still get mine because I think we pretty much signed up at the same time. I was wondering that because I had signed up at San Diego. They had all kinds of like stuff, you know, free magazine and all that. So I signed up. Yeah, I know they just wanted my email or my address and that kind of stuff. But still, I still haven't got anything. But it's good to hear that is worth getting.
I think that's the first time I've heard somebody say that they got into a comic because of a movie, where she said she saw Spider-Man and X-Men and then gravitated toward the Marvel comics.
I mean, yeah, I think that you find a lot of people will do that don't collect comics. But I mean, you're kind of right. She said she was a big DC person, and the movies actually got her to buy Marvel books. I'm glad she didn't see like the Dolph Lundgren Punisher. I would have scared her away from Marvel books.
I just tried to my Gmail login just expired. You know how it lasts 2 weeks and then you have to log in again? It just expired, and then I typed in my password and it's not accepting it.
What?
So now I'm trying to go through the
damn technology.
Yeah, I have to go through the I lost my password thing. I don't understand.
That's crazy.
Cracky, what the hell is...
Well, he's trying to figure that out. I just want to put a reminder out for the Indie Challenge for this month. Claypool Comics needs our help, and they were on in the past couple episode, about 2-3 episodes back, and they want you to pick up Soul Searchers 76, Elvira 153, and Deadbeats 76. They're all jump-in issues. And if you order those, and that is the key, is to order them, hopefully they'll get a boost. Otherwise, Diamond is going to remove them from their from previews. Doesn't mean that the company will collapse or anything like that. It just means it'll be even harder to get those books. So Soul Searchers and Elvira are on DCBS for 50% off. And Cameron was looking to see why Deadbeats wasn't listed, so I haven't heard anything back from him at the moment, and I haven't checked either. So, Soul Searcher 76, Elvira 153, Deadbeats 76. Just pick them up. This is just a way to help Claypool out.
I think Deadbeats is in this previews.
Is it?
Yeah, I was pretty sure he said the first two were in January, coming out in January, and
Right.
Deadbeats was coming out in February.
Yeah, but
Right.
but in this previews, Soul Searchers is listed, but the Deadbeats cover is pictured.
Right.
So it's everything is all screwed up. If he says Soul Searchers is coming out in January, then how is it solicited in the previews for February?
I don't know.
But
Yeah.
So
something is, and
something
that's
is
what
amiss.
Cameron was.
Something is afoot in Denmark.
And then you can also don't forget about the other last month's Athena Voltaire and Marlene by Peter Snyber. Pick those up, and we'll let you know when those come out. Whenever that comes out, whatever week. And the other one that Brian mentioned, Mouse Guard #1, Belly of the Beast by David Peterson. Who did you say it reminded you of? I forget.
Red Wall.
Yeah, the Red Wall books by Jacques.
Bernard.
Yeah.
A 6-issue.
Bernard Jacques.
A 6-issue.
Have you read any of
full-cover
those, Jamie?
series.
I have the first one, the first book. I haven't sat down and read it. Looks very interesting.
It's really good. It really is.
Archaea Studio Press. I'll just read the little blurb here. For every once in a while, you get a new project from an unknown creator that plain wows you. Mouse Guard #1 is such a project. David Peterson, write, draws, and colors. The characters of the Mouse Guard are 3 mice named Liam, Kenzie, and Saxon. These mice are both adorable and heroic. It's a reminiscent of the Rats of Nim and the Red Wall books, but has a fantasy flavor all its own. So check that one out as well. That one is not discounted, but we're still putting it on our list.
Well, I mean, it's discounted the regular amount or
Right.
whatever.
But not 50%. So try something new.
Okay, we got a new crossover from Los Comic Geekos. So they're going to present us with a question here. So, here we go.
Esto es Comic Geekos. Hello, Comic Geek Speak guys. This is Omar over at Los Comic Geekos. We just finished recording our 40th episode. We haven't missed a week since we started this podcasting thing. And we'd like to propose a new podcast crossover. And for this one, we're all gathered here together again. Tico Man is here.
Hi, how you doing? It's been a long time.
Yep, Burrito Man is here as well.
Hello.
And Julius.
Some time not hearing from you guys.
It's been a long time, yes. And Sensei is also here via Skype.
Hi.
He said one more word than he usually says during the podcast. Okay, the question for you guys is basically...
We just been through this in our podcast, and we were just wondering. We needed outside help for this.
Yes, that's right. The name of the new segment we have is Mysterious Unresolved Mysteries of Mystery. Yeah.
That's not what we called it.
Well, we called it something. It's shorter when you translate it to Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's Misterios sin resolver. And basically, what we wanted to know from you guys is, what do you find? What are the most mysterious things or things that you cannot explain that happen in comics?
Yeah, it's like comic book science is science apart.
That's
and
right.
there are mysteries there that we cannot fathom. It's a big word.
Yeah. Tico Man's got his thesaurus open.
Yeah, hold on. I'm at the F now.
Fathom.
Look at the G.
Oh, yes.
Googly moogly.
Yes.
Anyways.
It's a gregarious experience.
Yeah. We were wondering.
Like, for example,
like,
how does Superman cut his hair, or how does he shave?
Yeah, he's invulnerable. His scissors would just snap in half. So how does he do it?
How does he do it?
Or for example, what material are the Hulk's pants made of?
Yeah.
I mean, they always turn purple
No matter what he's
when he
wearing.
transforms. Yeah, he could be wearing Bermuda shorts, and they turn into purple pants,
That are
and they
cut
never
up.
rip.
Oh, they're
What is
ripped.
it?
They're ripped right at the
Oh,
bottom.
at the end. But,
Yeah, there you go.
you know, the toughest area they hold. Interesting.
Moving along. Yes. Wiping that image clear off our minds.
Please.
The next one, we had, how long does it take the Beast to come out of the shower? You know, he's got to dry himself
He
off.
clogs the drain every time.
Yeah.
And then he has to dry himself because he smells like a wet dog. How the hell?
How does he do it?
Do they stick him in a Shi'ar microwave or what?
There you go.
We want to know.
We want to know. Hey. We want to know.
Also,
Hey.
what the hell does Robin use to stick his mask on? I mean, he gets beat up every issue.
Yeah.
And never falls off. And how does he take it off at the end of a mission? You know, he's trying to change out of his costume. It's like, oh my god, my eyebrows! So how?
He has to draw his eyebrows back on.
Damn
That's
it.
what we.
Yeah, I'm getting angry here.
Yeah. Hey, we want to know. So
Let us know what are your biggest mysteries, or if you have answers to these questions we have.
Yeah.
Let us know too,
because
please.
for us, they are still unresolved mysteries of mystery. Mysterious mysteries of mystery. Anyways,
So,
I could have used the thesaurus for that mysterious mystery part.
Yeah.
There, Pico Man.
unfathomable.
All right, guys.
Got my money's worth from this dictionary.
Take care, and we want to hear from you guys soon. Hopefully, maybe sprinkle in a few words in Spanish.
Yeah. Hola.
Hola, that would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.
Hello.
Hey, Shane just walked in, so welcome, Shane.
Hello. Sounds like they got that echo machine there, enjoying using it. That's for sure.
The title of the MP3 file they sent me was "Mysterious Mysteries of Unfathomable Mystery."
That's fun. It's great to hear from them. I know it's our fault that we haven't.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a while.
It was that
Lo
whole
siento.
do everything in Spanish. Okay.
I know that stumped us.
I was gonna do it, and then I just forgot, and then we got busy, and then it became months
Just
and
got
months.
too big for them. That's the whole
Yeah.
thing. We're just.
Oh,
I'll lay it all on the line. We're too big for them. I'm kidding, joking.
Actually, my wife and I are trying to decide where to go on vacation next year, somewhere outside of the U.S. And we actually I want to check in about the jungle exploration in El Salvador and stuff because they live there, and I could actually maybe meet some of them. Depending on, I know it's a relatively small country, but I don't know, where the stuff that I would want to see, how far away is it from where they live, and they're in the city, and this stuff is not in the city, obviously, and so then it could be hours and hours by some bus ride, and then it would be totally impractical, and I don't know, but
if you want to go somewhere out the country, you could always go to Inner City Reading.
yeah.
It's just the same thing.
So Shane, did you hear their question?
No, I didn't.
What do we think are the biggest mysteries in the comic world? Like, how does Superman cut his hair, and why do Hulk's pants never rip, and
Turn purple.
all that kind of stuff.
The Robin mask is easy. It's just spirit gum, spirit glue, whatever they call that glue. That's usually what they. I'm sure Batman probably could create some adhesive that sticks like a magnet to your face.
I would say a bigger mystery for them is why their eyes are white in all their masks. I mean,
Oh,
lenses
yeah.
would be, but Robin really, it would be a little impractical for that. But
Because then they also put on the night
night
lenses
vision
too,
goggles, yeah.
The one mystery would be when Gene Colan draws him. How does Iron Man kind of smile and kind of frown and all that stuff?
That's liquid metal.
Yeah, that's right.
No, everything in the Marvel universe is just unstable molecules. It's the easiest answer.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Fantastic Four costumes. And
What's with Superman's costume?
That's his aura. That's
Yeah.
projected from his
So
body.
his impenetrable skin kind of expands past him to protect
yeah,
his.
That's why his cape can rip, but his suit won't.
But his suit it emulates an aura about him.
They mentioned it. They mentioned in Ma Kent said something that's why you were never so dirty. The clothing never was dirty because it's so close to his skin as a kid.
That's funny.
Pre-crisis, it was just because it was Kryptonian material.
Huh. But the cutting of the hair and the shaving
He
thing
shaves
is.
using his heat vision.
Yeah, reflecting off a mirror.
Yep.
Oh, really?
That's Byrne did that one.
Cutting of the hair,
in Man
I'm
of
not too
Steel.
sure if I've ever heard about that. Like if they've ever explained.
Well, it's kind of easy if you just take a little bit of kryptonite and just go real quick.
Really fast.
Put a lead
Batman's his
suit
barber.
everywhere.
Batman's got kryptonite scissors and comes down to the Bat Cave and.
I mean, it's kind of funny because they never talk about, and his hair never grows.
Yeah.
Sounds like, the shaving.
And it
thing's
was
been
long
done.
for that time period,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he cut it short. God, he even had it in a ponytail
Yeah.
for a while.
Was that blue suit Superman?
No, that was before that.
That was
Well,
like
in-
post resurrection Superman.
Yeah, that's a good one.
His flying is always a quandary.
Everybody, most superheroes flying is, what exactly are they,
And
Go ahead.
I was going to say, in the Marvel Universe, in the handbooks, they say it's the psi ability to affect gravitons. Gravitons, I suppose, is a made-up force molecule. I don't know, that binds gravity to objects. It's the thing. It's something like that. And anybody who can fly, they always the default is that they have the psi ability to affect gravitons.
I always wanted to know why anybody who had a jetpack didn't burn their butt off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without having some
true.
kind of protective metal guard
Yep.
or something.
Adam Strange and Wonder Man, and he's invulnerable, but he had a jetpack.
The Rocketeer.
Or with the Rocketeer, since the helmet has that spoiler on the back, or a tail fin, when he turns his head, why doesn't he make a 180 right away? Because that kind of guides his head.
That was what it was
Help
supposed to
movement.
do. It was the
to
way
steer his rudder or whatever.
That was
Rudder,
to
that's-
steer. Yeah.
And if he turns his head to look around, why doesn't he whip his neck or something?
Yeah, you know what? They did that in the Ray miniseries. He talked about.
How about the fin?
Yeah, he said that his father or somebody, or the Golden Age Ray said, you need the fin so you don't get whiplash or something like that. It's just, so, that's
I actually always wondered what the hell happened to Tony Stark's nose, because that thing is always like right there on his face. Does his nose just like disappear somehow?
It's always funny when they show the interior too. It's got maybe not so much now, but before it had panels and little display screens and padding so he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean it was always so thin, and I can buy it in a comic book, but in real life, if they're going to do a movie, it's got to be big and clunky because you just can't put a man in that thin.
Well, maybe
outfit like
there's a tiny portal to the negative zone, right, where his nose would go, and
it just squishes it flat.
it also keeps his sinuses clear.
Like this.
Marvel,
Hey, Tony.
Marvel's actually great about coming up with a lot of wacky ways to explain things, like when they talk about the Hulk. Is it the Hulk and Giant Man? Like when they grow, or the Wasp when she shrinks, that they shunt their mass into another dimension, or they pull from the other dimension.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I mean, it's all in the handbooks, and it's all. It's not anything that's actually in the books. They just had to come up. They wanted to come up with a way to explain all this stuff.
That just sounds pretty. I mean, wouldn't it be easier to just say that because isn't everything mostly empty space between the molecules? And if they could just reduce the empty space or inflate the empty space, that you would grow or shrink. I mean, that's.
If it gets closer, does it make you denser though? It makes you heavier. So if you shrink,
you wouldn't be heavier. You'd be the same, just in a smaller size, right?
Now my brain hurts.
Yeah.
No, but that's actual scientific theory. I mean, they've university scientists or whatever have conjectured about that. The Honey I Shrunk the Kids thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what are the possibilities of ever having that happen? Do the molecules become unstable if they're that close to each other and their energies affect them? Probably, because something is a size because that's the way nature wants it to be. But nonetheless, that's a conjecture.
And who's the inhuman that follows Lockjaw around with a pooper scooper?
And what happens when what's his face sneezes? Black Bolt or oh god, the whole place crumbles down.
I'll throw this out there just because they have comics of it, but Star Trek is great at explaining all sorts of weird stuff too. Yeah. One person or one group actually wrote a book about the science of Star Trek, and if you had a crystal that was like the dilithium crystal, you could make this and go relative, and they have this whole physics worked out. I'm like, Yeah, as much as I love Star Trek, it's not going to work.
That's actually, they explained, the emblem, the Star Trek emblem, how the bottom, where it spikes, is actually off center a little bit. They talked about that in, I think, the book Federation, where it has something to do with, the way they warp, you skew, you go off the main thing.
Okay.
So it was actually a diagram to represent something like that.
Wow.
I was like, whoa. All these people who, explain things, just let it be what it is.
That's right. It was an afterthought.
Let's see.
I don't know what the purple pants, I guess that's just an effect, gamma
because
radiation
you never
has.
ever saw. You didn't usually see him in purple pants. He either just wears them underneath his regular pants.
The underoo purple pants.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing is how does... sometimes you'll see Spider-Man swinging around in his Spidey outfit, but he doesn't have his little backpack on where he has his regular street clothes, and then all of a sudden he goes behind a building and he comes out as Peter Parker. It's like...
He's got mini spider caves all over.
Where were those clothes, man? Because the spider costume's on underneath his regular clothes, not his clothes underneath his Spidey costume.
Right.
So where do they come from?
He's got stashes all over.
He's got secret little piles everywhere.
I always had trouble with Angel. I'm sorry, I don't care how hard you can fold those wings. There's no way I don't see a guy with a hump. I mean, unless he's walking around as Quasimodo.
Well, I don't know. Now, think about a bird, though. I mean...
Yeah, but you're still going to see it. It's still going to be there.
His wingspan is huge.
Yeah, I was going to say, when they show his wingspan...
Yeah, but look at even like a big bird, they shrink up, and it's just like the slightest...
Or even
bulge on the side, just slightly. Like my brother has an African gray, which is a fairly big bird, and when it sticks its wings out, they're big. You wouldn't, you look at it when its wings are folded up, there's no bulge or anything. It's like he has like slight hollows in his back, perhaps, to compensate for it, because those feathers really shrink up into nothing.
Even a bat can get into a crawl space like a half an inch wide in between the trusses of your house. I mean, and they've got some mass to them.
Okay, well, I said I had trouble with it. The fact that the rest of you guys don't have trouble with it.
Watch some Animal Planet, Jamie. Or something.
No.
But you know what? You have to think, though, if he is folding it against his back, how far down... It has to go into his pants, right?
That would be my problem, how far down they go.
I can't see them just... Because they always, when they show him standing there, it always goes like almost down to his ankles.
Yeah.
The tips. So, for what you're saying, it would have to all fold up just like along his back. Like, wouldn't it also have to go when he's in civilian clothing? When he should just really just walk around in a trench coat, but it would go down his pants leg almost, I would think.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Oh, yeah, I would think so.
Maybe he's got extra joints in his wings, triple jointed, and then they fold up one more time. I don't know. This whole conversation is really still silly.
Muy
divertidos.
We take a lot of this for
Muy
granted.
loco.
A lot of it for granted. What are you supposed to
So much so that I'm drawing a blank on anybody else.
Well, come on, seriously. Is Batman really going to get around Gotham City firing that, grapple hook the way he does?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to shoot it,
yeah.
swing,
It's
disconnect it, shoot it, swing, disconnect.
And
takes a long time.
yeah, it's
He just has disposable ones.
well,
It's just
and also that D-cell line.
What's
that D-cell line that he's supposed to use that decelerates his centrifugal force or whatever as he goes down, so he doesn't break every bone in his body as he slams into something. Yeah, I don't think so.
They do that in a lot of movies too,
Oh, yeah.
And
Mission Impossible,
like
isn't it?
Entrapment and all that stuff. They always have those, and it's like, well, okay, it's so tiny, and yet it has what battery does that have in it that can, run the friction that slows that down? Like that's pretty good,
And at the speed that they go,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Gotham is littered with grapple hooks and
Everywhere.
batarangs.
I do like that every now and then you find somebody finding a batarang and keeping it or whatever.
Oh,
that,
really?
that I like. Yeah, every now and then. I even want to say Tim Drake found one when he was investigating who Batman was. That at some point he found a couple batarangs or something like that.
And even though they supposedly dissipate after a while, I mean, just imagine you're living in a neighborhood where Spider-Man's going swinging through
Yeah.
for a little bit, and it's like you open the window, oh, geez, webs, oh, come on. At least take them with you.
I have a problem with Green Lantern all the time. I mean, this guy must be the smartest guy ever because he knows every blueprint for every device, every computer thing. Because like if he's conjuring up a machine, well, then the machine has parts and has engineering involved, and it works a certain way, and yet, suddenly, he's got, something that does something like a giant bulldozer. Oh, so Hal Jordan, you know how to build a bulldozer, huh? That's
I think
amazing.
The ring compensates.
I was just going to say, I think the ring
probably has stored
that
knowledge.
information in there and does it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He just wills that he wants this, and the ring goes.
Because he's always talking to it. He's always like, translating languages, or it's got stored memories of like other Green Lanterns. So it's like a little mini computer, like an omni computer.
Yeah.
And who's to say it actually worked? I mean, if he just has this and he's pushing it along, it does what it's supposed to do,
and it just
without
looks
like a motor running.
But lately, I mean, because I used to think, it was relatively simple machines, but lately, maybe it's Kyle or whatever. I mean, there's like
John
whole
Stewart
or whatever, whole computers, and I mean, anything that you could ever even imagine, he's doing. And it's like, oh, okay. I was thinking like a giant mallet, because it's, there aren't any moving parts in it, and then all of a sudden there's all these
giant
things.
boxing glove.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't.
Well, that's why I mean, love him or hate him. That's one of the things I always thought was kind of cool about Kyle Rayner was the fact that he was an artist and he knew how to draw all this stuff. Now, whether or not he knew how to make it work was another thing, but his imagination and his artistic ability, I always thought was kind of a cool thing to have, as opposed to what Hal Jordan had been, the test pilot, and know how to fly anything, any type of machinery. You would think, even there, he might at least know how most of this stuff worked. I mean, a pilot knows how to fly it. He also should know how most everything he's flying works.
That was a really cool scene in the Green Lantern Rebirth when all the different Green Lanterns were fighting, and he had them use their powers, and they showed like Kyle drawing each piece or whatever, and then everybody did their things in a different way, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's an attention to detail that they're going to lose that quick. A new artist coming on is going to lose that. But Kilowog, when he first showed up in Green Lantern Corps, he was, since he's a scientist, he was always one to make these really intricate machines that could study, like if somebody got injured, they could really take a look at all their physiology and things like that. Even though he seemed like such a bruiser, he could actually come up with that stuff. And John Stewart being the architect, I think they also talk about in Green Lantern Rebirth, he also designs from the inside out.
Well, maybe it was him, but I remember the paintbrush thing.
Yeah, they did that with Kyle, the paintbrush.
Oh, yeah.
And that's always an argument: is what is Green Lanterns? Is it light or is it plasma? Is it nobody ever really nails that down.
Ever since Grant Morrison came up with hard light hologram stuff, that's always what I just attributed to these days. Before it was plasma,
right?
Just the whole laser thing. Everybody's got laser beams all over the place, laser guns, and the technology, the amount of power that it takes to generate, a laser beam that can burn through steel or whatever, to have it in a handgun. I mean, that's like the world's most sophisticated battery. It's like 500 years in the future till we have a cell that can store to fire more than once. Maybe you could get enough power for one shot, and that would be completely exhausted. But not even with today's technology. So just every laser gun is, like just Iron Man's repulsor suit. The whole thing is like, well, okay, man, you could put that shit in a laptop and you could run for 5 weeks. So, your iPod would run for a year straight if you had the battery in that Iron Man suit.
The Marvel Universe should be more advanced. Like, even though it's current day, I mean, you got Reed Richards, you got Tony Stark, you got all these people who...
They always talk about how the Fantastic Four makes all its money off of all the patents that Reed Richards sells.
Yeah.
Yet none of it shows up in everyday life. They would have floating cars and all this kind of stuff all over the place if they were actually using the technology that he was supposedly selling.
It's all bought up by the military.
Yeah, but Reed doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's selling everything to the military.
Well, you see, he's making that bullet chopper, and he makes the all the stuff you see on the Saturday morning infomercials. And the whole thing. That's what he's actually doing.
He's actually the behind the scenes man for Ron Popeil.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the whole set it and forget it thing. That was Reed Richards.
He made that little plastic circle thing that used open jars.
Yep.
Just the grip.
Yep, those little like hover things you put heavy things on and they slide. Reed Richards.
Oh, jeez.
That's actually negative space in between the hover thing.
Yeah.
There's an air hockey table. It's all a negative zone kind of thing.
There's no air coming out of that.
No.
Lava lamps.
That's right. Yeah. No, that was Doctor Strange channeling Mephisto.
Got that right. Or the Dormammu.
Mephisto's in 30,000 lava lamps.
Why would you put an unstable? Why would you make a line for himself? Unstable molecule clothing.
Well,
line.
think about it for the motorcycle driver, for the skateboarding kid, the mountain biker, all that. Those guys, they would never be tearing their clothes. Construction workers would never have rips in their jeans, all that stuff.
You guys say that. I always think of that jacket that Michael J. Fox wore in Back to the Future 2, where it was all like distorted and he hit a button, it all sized right.
Yeah.
It got wet and he pressed it and air flows through it to dry it and your jacket is now dry. I always want that.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that to get created.
I mean, if he's giving them to all the superheroes, everybody seems to have one.
Yeah.
It's like, why not for the normal schmoes out there?
Yeah.
And you think think about, there's Sentinels and there's Dreadnoughts and there's the the awesome androids, and there's so many robots in the Marvel universe. It's
Vision alone.
Yeah, and yet they're still writing with pencils, and they they're still driving cars. It's like everybody should have their own buddy Sentinel or something. I don't know.
Like an iRobot, the little home. Well, yeah, I mean, Herbie for everyone.
That's right.
I had never thought about that, but it is kind of a glaring inconsistency once you think about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tech that's not being used. Even the government's not using it. I mean, the helicarrier, but then they're flying, regular F-18s, and they have regular tanks and stuff. So it's like, well, how could they build the helicarrier for S.H.I.E.L.D., but then not have any, advanced planes and tanks and stuff for S.H.I.E.L.D. to use off of the helicarrier? It doesn't really make any sense, And
they also have that car that, the wheels turn and it turns into a jet. But only Nick Fury has that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can only make so many of them before you bankrupt the United States. I mean, come on.
I mean,
think of it, could be the Supreme line of Mercedes could turn into hovercrafts. So,
How many Quinjets has the Avengers gone through?
Yeah, and who's building them?
Tony Stark.
Oh, Tony Stark's building them.
We got a new one in the new Avengers, and it was destroyed 2 pages later. So it's like.
Well, I like that one scene in Hush where Jim Lee draws all those Batmobiles that Batman has in the cave. There's 30 of them in there.
Yeah, there's a quandary. When he had Harold? Harry? Who was the little...
Yeah, Harold.
He had him as his sole mechanic down there. It's like one person. Yeah, come on.
Well, and still, like you have in there, you have the 30s Batmobile, and he's supposed to have gone through all these Batmobiles in 10 years.
Yeah, how about it? Oh.
30s, 60s, 40s.
I always wanted to be the contractor in Salem, New York, because Xavier School for Gifted Students always blew up. I mean, they're always rebuilding that damn thing.
Yeah.
Can't think too hard about this stuff.
No, I know.
The enjoyment goes right out the window.
It's fun to talk about it, though.
Mysterious mysteries of unfathomable mystery.
So I'm sure somebody out there...
Just repeat yourself. This is just a show. I should really just relax.
Yeah.
Somebody out there. I'm sure people will write in and go, well, they'll give us
Why
their
do you say
thoughts
that?
too. No, they'll give us their thoughts of what they...
How does this thing take a piss?
Oh, jeez.
I like Brody's question to Stan Lee and Mallrats. Is this thing really that?
These dorks made of stone like the rest of them?
Mr. Fantastic, is it really? Can every part of him stretch?
What kind of toilet paper does he use? Because it's got to be rocky back there.
Well, come on, think about it. The guy's he's usually 500 pounds or more, something like that. And he's
how's he sit on the toilet?
He's getting in cabs, and that's got to hurt when you touch him. Alicia Masters, her forearms must be chafed whenever she hugs him.
Among other
come
things.
on.
No, he soaks in it.
He what?
He soaks in it.
He soaks in what?
Madge, I soaked in it. Remember the Palmolive dish soap or whatever it was?
And he's got to leave little chips everywhere, because he says when he walks, he
he scrapes.
The house cleaner
Does it
in
hurt?
the Baxter building must.
Well,
Jesus.
They have special vacuums for that, I'm sure.
Little Herbies.
Yeah, that's right. Little vacuum Herbies.
That's what Herbie's for.
Yeah. So
Beats the hell out of the Roomba, I'll tell you that. I want one of those so badly. Okay.
Silly.
I hope that answers some of your preguntas, los Comic Geekos. Moving on, some of our listeners got together and met up in a bar in Chicago.
I love this.
There's a Man-Eating Tarp, Citizen Dave, and Tom Caters.
Yep.
And
also known as CGS, Great Lakes.
Yeah.
And I guess Chris recorded some of it. So I haven't even listened to this, so let's see what they had to say.
And that was it.
That was good.
What the hell? Okay.
Huh?
It says it was 5 minutes, 10 seconds, but it's playing 1 second of it, and then it
was 0.5 nanoseconds.
I guess it's a little screwed up.
A little.
So, Chris, try sending that to me again or something. I don't know. Huh. So much for that. Let me try playing it in another player. Let's see.
Do we know if this is before or after all the drinks they consumed?
I have no idea.
I'm pulling for after.
Geek Speak. Comic Geek Speak. Hello, Comic Geek Speak. This is Chris, Dave, and Tom. It's Man-Eating Tarp, Citizen Dave, and Tom Caters from the forum. This is the first Chicago Splinter Cell CGS meeting. And rather than take over the entire podcast, we're just going to be real quick, talk about one book each that we're reading right now that we'd like you to either talk about or pass along. And I think Citizen Dave is going to get us started. So here you go, Citizen Dave. Oh, baby, hold on, baby. I got to do this thing. Hold on, I'll get right back to you, baby. Hey, Comic Geek Speak. This is Citizen Dave coming to you. I want to talk to you about Rex Libris. It is a great book coming out from Slave Labor Graphics. Now, if you haven't read it, then you ought to get out there and read it right now, because this is something that I cannot even describe to you how good it is. If you like to listen to loungecore CDs and you've ever read the liner notes of those things, then you will think this thing is the most hilarious thing you've ever seen in your life. Now, you know those DVD commentary tracks? You know the ones. You listen to them about 5 times because you're a freak. This comic book has its own commentary track running at the bottom. It is hilarious stuff. The artwork is outstanding. It's very original. I say you can go to the Slave Labor site, check out a several-page preview and see if you like the style. It's about a librarian at this crazy huge library that sits on some sort of energy focal point of the universe, whose assignment is to go out through the universe through teleportation and retrieve all of the overdue books from evil despots and things and like that. And then the first issue has got to fight an evil samurai warlord, and meanwhile the characters from the books are coming alive every once in a while and wandering through the stacks. I can't recommend it more. It's one of the funniest things I've ever read in my life. That's Rex Libris from Slave Labor Graphics. Check it out. There's 2 issues. I'm sure you can get them just about anywhere. And that's all from Citizen Dave. I'm going to pass it off to... I'm passing it off. They're pointing to each other, so I'm going to close my eyes and pass it off to Tom.
The book I'm doing, I just picked up both issues of it, actually, and I'm paging through it right now. I'm not really sure who publishes it. It's called Infinite Crisis, and...
Never heard of that?
Yeah, it's... I enjoyed a lot. There's a lot of mystery and intrigue involved. There's 2 guys who are dressed like Superman. I'm not sure who's the real Superman or who the other one is. I've heard rumors that it might be Jason Todd. But I don't really know if people are buying this, but they should. It's easily the most intriguing thing I've read in the last 3 or 4 months, and it'd be a real shame of something like this if they couldn't finish it because sales weren't high enough. So I just wanted to get it out there so everyone knows, and I'm going to pass it off to Chris.
Who's Superman? Superman? Never heard of him. My book, and we've talked about it a little bit on the forums, is Fear Agent. It is a book done by Rick Remender, and the art is done by Tony Moore. It's published by IDW, and if you like sci-fi, if you're a Tom Strong fan, great pickup. Basically, the story is about Hudson. The character goes on these outer space missions to basically take bounties or jobs for hire to clean up different emergencies that the local law enforcement can't. It's basically, as Rick Remender would describe it, it's about a two-fisted man of action in outer space. Harkens back to a lot of the Golden Age type superheroes in outer space. Fun stuff. Check it out. IDW, Rick Remender, Tony Moore. If you liked him in Walking Dead, you like him in Fear Agent. That's about all I have right now. So this will conclude the very first Splinter Cell CGS Chicago meeting.
Love you, Comic Geek Speak.
We love you, Comic Geek Speak.
You guys are all right. ScarTissue-comic.com.
Oh yeah, and Scar Tissue, pick it up. It's good. Any of the other Chicago area listeners, just check us out on the forum. We'll be getting together again. We've got Matt S. from Racine. We got a beer sitting here for you. We're going to thumb wrestle for it here in just a little while. So keep it strong, guys, and hopefully we'll show up on a podcast. Out.
Hey, Citizen Dave, I just have one thing to say to you, and that's knife to the eye!
And I gotta say, I can't help but say it, but IDW does not publish Fear Agent.
It's Image,
It's
right?
Image, yeah. I'm sitting here looking at it right here. The preview is in front of me. He said it 3 times. I was waiting for him to change it, but no, that's Image if you're looking for Fear Agent. So get it right. That's why we're the big time here, people.
That's why we do this podcast.
That's right. And you're the Splinter Cell. That's why you're the Great Lakes CGS.
And you guys were yelling at me earlier?
That's Jamie D at Geekspeak.
Hey, I don't
Geekspeak.com.
Hey, I haven't told someone they can't post on the forum, so
We need to go. I guess, are we going to Chicago next year?
I'd like to.
That would be cool.
Be nice.
We probably have,
places to
free
stay.
food and
free
drink.
food, free drink.
Yeah, free room and board, then we're definitely going to Chicago.
We'll each, pick a listener to stay at.
I want whoever's got a hot sister.
Oh, that was mine.
Hey, you're married.
You're the married
Better watch
guy.
it.
Jesus. We're the horny single guys over here.
That was cool.
You want to call somebody?
Yeah.
How about Jason Palmer? He's Frank Castle on the forum. Let's see. I had disconnected everything, so I hope I got my cables all hooked up right. So we'll see if it's... All right.
It works.
Do we know where we're calling?
No.
No. Okay.
No idea. I'm sorry, I'm still at work.
It's not Wednesday either, so they can't use the comic excuse.
Can you hear it?
Yep.
Yeah, we're all good.
Hello?
Hello, Jason.
Yes.
Jason, this is Brian and the Comic Geek Speak guys. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Hello.
Hey.
Doing well.
So you arrest any bad guys today?
Not today, actually. I was just in bed getting ready to wake up.
Oh. Do you work second shift or third shift or something?
I am a midnight guy.
Ah, okay.
So I don't get home till, about 7, 8 in the morning.
Where you live? Where you at?
I'm in Seattle.
Oh.
Seattle, Washington. I'm in the great Northwest, home of the Seahawks, who I believe beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to drop that in.
All right, hang up.
That's enough of you. Bye.
I'm okay
Sorry
with that.
about that.
That helped my picks this week.
Yeah, I bet.
Hey, we just did a crossover with the Los Comic Geekos, and their question for us was, what are some of our mysterious mysteries of unfathomable mystery? Like, how does Superman cut his hair, and why do the Hulk's purple pants never rip at the waistline but only at the legs? So do you have any comic book mysteries that you'd like to put out there?
Comic book mysteries. My goodness. What are some of the ones you guys threw out there?
Like, the whole unstable molecules. What's that?
Besides Superman's haircut and the mullet.
Like how do they really fly, and does the thing leave chips, little rock flakes all over the place, and
Superman's suit, why it doesn't rip.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wondered that one too. Is Ma Kent really that good of a sewing person to make that thing so he can fly to the sun and it never hurts him?
Well, we actually came up with that, so you have to listen for our answer.
I will have to listen. I cannot think of any off the top of my head.
You're a big Punisher fan, right?
I am a big Punisher fan. This is correct.
And how does that jive with your day work?
Well, let's see. I'm not so much sworn on vengeance as I am, just upholding the law. But, it's fun. I've been reading it forever. It's the first book I ever bought, so...
But if you had a bazooka, would you take out a few drug dealers? That's the real question.
I know a couple meth houses that I hate going to every single week, so it might make my job a little easier.
It's called urban renovation.
What's your favorite Punisher run or creative team?
Oh, well, I am a huge Preacher fan. I love everything Garth and Steve Dillon did. So their run on Welcome Back Frank was incredible. Loved it. I mean, I still love Garth's work now that he's doing. In fact, I just read number 28 before I went to bed this morning. It was really good. But I also loved Chuck Dixon's Suicide run back in the, middle 90s, late 90s, when Punisher had the 3 books.
Was that when he was being, hunted, or...?
Right, yeah, he, went and he blew up this tower with all these major villains, his villains, and then he almost killed himself, and then the whole microchip thing, and then it spawned off to there was 5 or 6 different Punishers who all took over his persona. And it was a pretty good run, and then it pretty much ended all the books, so, I liked it.
Cool.
Yeah.
How long you been on the force?
Let's see here.
Do you use the force? Sorry.
I would. Let's see here. I'm going on 2 years, so a year and some change.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm fairly young, and so...
Are you still classified as a rookie?
I get that a lot. Hey, rookie, we're going to Starbucks. Hey, rookie, let's go get some Krispy Kremes. Or, hey, a rookie, why don't you go do this report? I'm like, hey, fine.
So if you stop any CGS listeners for speeding, can they say, hey, can they give you a secret handshake or something and you let them go?
If somebody mentioned they listened to CGS, I would die and be like, man, keep on going.
There you go. If you live in the Seattle area and you're caught speeding, just
mention it on the fly. You never know.
That's right.
You never know.
Turn up your iPod, or face it to him or whatever.
Flash him your T-shirt.
It's pretty funny. I think I posted it once, but I figured out a way to get my laptop in the car to go through my radio, so that I could listen to the podcast through it. So I had a guy in the back complaining about it. He kept saying how bad Batman was really stupid. I was like, dude, shut up. You're driving me nuts, man. Sick or stray.
I think that's some justifiable extra force there.
That's right.
Definitely. He kept saying Bax is gay, and I was like, dude, you're driving me nuts.
They'll say anything to piss off a cop, won't they?
They really will.
Hey, is it, as much as I hear about this, is it always rainy and dreary in Seattle?
I'm going to say yes, because the last few days it has been. We had snow a week ago, but then last month it was completely sunny. So it changes so fast, but it's always cold.
That's my kind of weather, cold and dreary.
For the Seahawks game today, it looked like just fog covered the entire field, so you could barely see it. So I don't know.
Hey, stick around here for a couple more minutes.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh.
going to be his backup?
I'll be backup.
All right.
What's the code to call in backup?
I'm a pretty good shot, so, you know.
Oh, jeez.
Adam 6 needs a backup car. He's going to be making an arrest. Actually, I like to call it a hook.
A hook?
A hook. I'm going to hook him.
This one is from Adam Douglas, Adam37 on our forum. Not Douglas Adams, Adam Douglas.
Adam Douglas.
Question 1. In the Marvel series Alias, we discover that constant superhero partner Rick Jones wrote a tell-all novel. What was the name of the book?
I think we had this. It's sidekick.
Okay. Oh.
Do we already have... What's the next one?
Well, if we had this one, you should be able to get all 3 questions right.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Maybe we did have this one already.
What was the next question?
In the greatest comic book series ever, Sandman, Morpheus was given the key to hell by Lucifer, a number of envoys.
Yep. Yeah,
okay.
we did that one.
All right. I didn't unstar it. That's my bad.
Professionalism right out the window.
Throwing Peter a bone.
Yeah. I know it.
Okay. This one's from Mike Lewis. In the classic Spider-Man No More story from 1967 in Amazing Spider-Man, J. Jonah Jameson appears on TV to talk about the exciting news that Spider-Man has quit. Name the host of this show.
Still there?
Yeah, we hear you. Are you there? Hello?
Hello?
I think he cut out.
What the heck?
Hello?
Hey? What the heck is that all about?
I don't know. Where'd he go?
Hey, where'd everybody
Cops
go?
out in Seattle, man. They put a stop to the show.
Hello?
Hey, hello?
Hey?
Hello. Yeah, man, I don't know. Get a reception all of a sudden here.
That's weird.
Are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh, okay.
It must be those clouds out in the
It
fog.
must be.
What year did they say that was from?
1967.
What talk show?
The
Yeah.
host.
Yeah, well, who's the host?
Real host or made up host?
Because I didn't hear anything.
Oh, you didn't
No,
hear the
we
question?
didn't give did you hear the question?
You might have to cut me off here, because I'm...
Oh, he's cutting.
Okay.
Oh.
But that's it. See.
I'd like a large cheese.
I guess we lost it.
Hello?
Yeah, there he goes.
Oh, that
a shame.
sucks.
That's a shame.
1 Adam 12, 1 Adam 12.
Officer down.
Officer down!
Talk show in this, I mean...
Known talk show host or
Oh, yeah.
made up talk show?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. There's a hint. Back in the 60s?
Yeah, there's only one, right? Johnny Carson was like the only one for the longest time.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll go with him or Merv Griffin. You never know.
But there, who was also the...
I'd still go with Johnny Carson.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Larry King's like 180 years old. He might have been doing it then.
He invented it. I'll go with Johnny Carson.
That's correct.
Okay. That's weird. Marvel is known for that, though. To go, you know, you had him and David Letterman and this Saturday Night Live.
All right, question 2, DC. In The Dark Knight Returns, the Joker goes on a late-night talk show. Name the Letterman clone who hosts this show.
That's, hold on, wait a minute. He's got big teeth and... he sounds like a... It sounds like a chemical. It's
oxymoron.
Shucks. Like it's like something estrogen. I don't know. It's something like a it's totally obviously a fake name, and he's real goofy and
I can picture him, but I don't know.
yeah, he's on Joker's on, and then he goes and kills the audience, and kills him. I think even Ruth, what's her name? West. She was a guest on it. Like what's the one with the sex?
Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth Westheimer.
I think she was also there too as a guest. I can't think of his name though.
David Endocrine.
There you go.
Endocrine.
That's funny. This is an all talk show theme.
Question 3. In Cerebus number 163, Red Sophia and her mother appear on a talk show with a host that is obviously based on Oprah Winfrey. Another guest on the show is Dr. Ironcat. a parody of a real-life person from the comic book industry. Who was the real-life inspiration for Dr. Iron Cat?
I have an idea.
I have no idea.
I would say maybe Cat Ironwood.
And that's correct. Editor-in-chief of Eclipse Comics.
Makes sense.
So you got one out of three. So
Getting a little help from the shiznit.
you weren't completely stumped.
Squashed a little bit.
Yeah.
Flattened slightly.
Splintered.
Do you have any World of Toys things you want to bring up?
Yeah, I can talk about McFarlane's Wallace and Gromit figures. I'm not a huge fan of Wallace and Gromit. I've watched it a few times, and I think it's great. I want to see the new movie, but just haven't. And these figures are based on that. Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Jeez, I went blank there. But I got a couple of the figures. I got a Wallace and a Gromit, and I have, what's the cop's name? PC Macintosh. And I opened up because he looks like a Keystone Copper, sort of.
Okay.
And I opened him up, and while they look really good and they look like they're made out of clay, like the claymation that the movie and the show is made out of, the figures themselves I'm a little disappointed in. I thought they would be hard plastics, you could just pose them, but they're actually kind of rubbery, which, okay, I'll go with that if you could actually bend them, which it looks like on the back you're supposed to be able to, but they really don't bend into any pose. They're just kind of rubbery and static, and if you move them or they just kind of bounce and flop back in place. It's kind of weird. So I haven't opened Wallace and Gromit yet. I just went with PC Macintosh so far. So I was a little disappointed in that. They have some PVC figures out that I've seen that look really good, but I'm not much of a PVC guy. But if you like that, they have 2 sets. I think they're $20 each, 5 figures in each set, which is kind of expensive for my taste. And then they have a deluxe boxed Were-Rabbit, which looks kind of cool, but I don't know where I'd put it. It's kind of silly looking at the same time. But that's the Wallace and Gromit stuff. McFarlane also just released their second series of Dragon figures, which look really cool. They had a first series. There apparently is some sort of story inside the package that runs through whatever these dragons are going through. And they look really good. They're exceptional. I didn't get any of the first series, but they look absolutely fantastic. And the second series doesn't disappoint in terms of aesthetic value.
What kind of prices are on those things?
They are $9.99. The Wallace and Gromit figures are there you go. Peter's looking in previews and sees them. The Wallace and Gromit figures, 6-inch figures, retail for $11.99, and the Were-Rabbit itself is $14.99, which that's not a bad price for McFarlane's larger scale things, because all the baseball, football ones, they're like $30. But then again, the Were-Rabbit is a very simple, like big bulging design. Yes, there's the dragons. Peter has a picture of them.
Those
you can see them.
are...
They're incredible. There's a new one. I think it's the Fire Clan one that I think I might pick up. It's pretty cool. They have a boxed set, which is a guy riding a dragon on top of what looks like a peasant hut or something. That looks pretty cool too. I think that's $25 or so.
So these aren't based on anything, right?
No, it's McFarlane Toys' own creation.
Quest for the Lost King.
And again, once you open the package, there's some kind of underlying story that runs through all the figures.
Kind of cool.
But that's the Wallace and Gromit.
There it is.
I did see this week the DC Direct, I guess the Thrill Killer toys.
Oh yeah.
They're due to be out. They were on the Diamond list.
Cool. I wouldn't mind getting the. Is there a Batgirl in this series?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting that one.
Oh, from the Elseworld.
Yeah, the Elseworld's a Thrill Killer.
Okay.
Oh, also, people in this area anyway might be happy to hear this. Marvel Series 11, is it the newest one with the vehicles? Just finally started hitting stores around our area, so keep your eye out if you're interested in them. Has Wolverine from Days of Future Past riding a chopper. It has Wonder Man, Scarlet, Hulkbuster, Iron Man. Can't remember the other 2 or 3, but they're definitely hitting shelves finally in our area.
This is good because half of those I don't need to buy.
No, I know. Scarlet Witch, I actually picked up a Scarlet Witch, and
I want to get cool. Wonder Man, because I don't have him yet.
There's a variant of him where he's like electrified, clear, cosmic type looking.
I don't think I have a Scarlet Witch yet.
No. Was there a Scarlet Witch before this one?
I don't know. I think, was she a variant or something one time around?
I don't know.
Like the rare figure in one of those sets? I think she was. But I don't need another Wolverine. I don't need a Hulkbuster Iron Man.
And there's actually a variant of the Wolverine, but I'm not too sure what the variant is, because one looks like he has a jacket open, one looks closed, but I'm not sure if the head sculpt different or something.
That's like an amazing variant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. One might be an Ultron.
So one has pants, the other one doesn't.
Remember. Ultron would be cool.
I think one might be an Ultron.
Do they have them at Toys R Us?
Yes, I saw them there today when I stopped by.
Well, I'll have to go over and get some of those. Hey, you want to do a voicemail here?
Sure.
All right. Let's fire it up.
Hey, guys. This is Jackson Murdoch. Just calling real quick to let you know I listened to the episode 20. It was good. It was real good. I sat there, and it really, really took me back. Yes, there's a few episodes that I'm not exactly caught up on yet, so I thought I had all of them, but apparently I'm missing probably about a good 7 or 8, and that was one of them. And, I mean, it really, really did take me back, especially when you get to the Flash Gordon part. My best friend and I used to love sitting there watching that movie. We must have worn out that tape. Anyway, I have to hurry up and get back to work, but I just wanted to call you and let you know that was another great episode. All right. Take care. Adios.
Flash.
I'm glad you said that, because after 60-some episodes, I was like, "What the hell is number 20?"
Yeah, it's a cartoon episode.
Yeah, as soon as he said that, I realized what it was.
That's where the book guy made you come in here. Just carry that with you all the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was a good episode. It was fun.
That was a great movie too.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Let's do another one. That was short.
Hey guys, this is Ed Moore. Everybody on the forum will know me as Miskatonic. Just wanted to chime in on a couple of recent topics that you guys have been talking about. Brian, I wanted to throw in there that I agree with you 100% for any type of mood or mind-altering pharmaceutical being necessary. I'm a happy dad of 2 sons, and the last thing that I want to know is that they're tripping on acid, talking to ceramic unicorns or anything like that. Whether they're being creative or not doesn't matter. The other thing is the debate that's raging about Marvel and DC, both on the shows and on the boards. I don't think you guys are being too hard on Marvel, but you do have a definite bias towards DC. And, as everybody knows, us comic book fans are loyal, if nothing else. So I think a lot of us Marvel zombies are just getting kind of tired of all the anti-Marvel talking and all the how good DC is talking. I'll admit, I think Identity Crisis is going to be one of the coolest things to come around the corner in a while. But, what kind of lasting effect it truly has remains to be seen. We can all sit around rather and speculate about it, but we're not going to know what it does until after. I think the same thing has to be said about House of M for Marvel. Yeah, they're talking all this hype, but we're not going to know what effect it really had until a year from now as we're sitting around talking about these things. Just, like I said, a couple things I wanted to touch base with you guys have been talking about. Keep up the good work and keep those shows coming out. See you.
Yeah. I thought some people would be saying something, and everyone's sitting here looking at me.
I'm thinking. Hopefully, we've quelched that fire a little bit. I think we've certainly stood up and given Marvel its due, especially where House of M is concerned lately. I mean, we all sat down, we all read it, we all gave, for the most part, a good report on it. It's just, for me, traditionally, Marvel doesn't do as well with their crossovers, proportionately speaking. There's nothing that I can really add to it that we haven't discussed 1,000 times already.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that we're singling out DC, it's just where the excitement seems to come from. I think that's all it is. That's all it really is.
It's just where the excitement is right now.
Yeah, it's not, and like you said, we've talked about it.
And I'm very glad I did read House of M, and I am picking up at least one X title every week, keeping up with this storyline. I love it. I'm really, really interested in it. For the first time in, gosh, maybe 4 or 5 years, I'm very interested in what's happening in X-Men, other than Morrison's X-Men or Astonishing X-Men.
Right.
Something, special about it or something.
Yeah.
Yep, but I'm not going on another rant, so that's nothing from this end.
And we have another very, very short voicemail here. It's just a couple seconds.
Salud.
Oh, that was great.
Ay, caramba.
I love it.
That has to be one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time.
Oh.
Okay.
That's great.
Put a wrap on it.
I think that's definitely a wrap.
Big old wrap.
Let me band for 2 seconds. Say something.
Little old school beatbox there for
you.
Shane the White Rapper.
If you haven't gone to our website, go to our website. Go to our website. And not just to the forum. Go to the other things. Go to the gallery.
Yeah.
Go to the link. Check out other podcasts.
Especially the gallery. I just went in there today. I didn't get on the computer all day. I went there and I saw somebody had done a drawing for our villain.
Mm-hmm.
Looked great.
Go to what else is there? The links. It also has links to some sites that we really like, and go
List
to
of all the interviews.
Yep. Go to the episodes page and do a search on something that you really like, and if you wonder if we've talked about it in one of the episodes, do a search. It's all the episode descriptions are getting there.
Yeah, Peter's putting a lot of effort into getting them very, very detailed.
You have what, like 75% of them done now, right?
70, yeah. I have to do the interview ones and and things like that. But most of the regular numbered episodes are done.
Yeah.
And then go to the forum. But check it out. There's a lot to see there.
Yeah.
And it's we try to update it as much as we can.
And while we're talking about it, I would like to thank all the people who post on the forum because they're 99.9% of the people on that forum are very, very cool, and they let you know when they're going to post spoilers, and they're very respectful of everyone else's opinions, and they're not flaming each other, and it just makes it a very fun experience for everyone. And so
you can go see, Mike Norton posts artwork
Yeah.
up there. Citizen Dave, he posts artwork up there, and then our listeners who aren't pros, they post stuff up there, and it's just as incredible.
Oh yeah,
So,
we have some really good art. One of the guys emailed me the current challenge is to draw Avengers, and he emailed me it was work in progress, and it's really, really good.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Oh, and I really want to thank everyone who has gone out so far and voted this month for us at Podcast Alley. We're making a push for 400 votes, and we're up over 200, and we're at 14th place.
Wow.
Nice.
And to crack into the top 10 at this moment in time, we need like 80 more votes. It's really everybody this month has many more votes than they had last month. If it was November, I think we might have been in the top 10 already. But this month, for some reason, everybody's voting for everybody. So if you are listening and you have not voted, this is the month we're just trying to make a push. And at comicgeekspeak.com/vote, it'll take you right there. You just go vote. It's real simple. And but
what about the other announcement you had too that you posted on the forum about?
We pushed into the top 100 list on iTunes in the arts and entertainment category. We're like 79 or something on the top 100 list.
Cool.
So that's very, very cool too.
That was really cool
to be on there, because that's a lot of exposure from Apple.
And that's based on
number of new subscribers.
Okay.
Yeah, so it means we're consistently getting new people to subscribe all the time.
And how many podcasts are there in that category? There's got to be.
I don't know, probably hundreds and hundreds of them, I would think.
Yeah, we're at 78, 79. That's good.
Yeah.
There are 80. That's the bad thing.
Shh.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank everyone.
Definitely.
It's we're having a blast doing the show, and it wouldn't be nearly as much fun if we didn't have you guys to be out there listening.
Amen to that.
All right, and a reminder that this episode of Comic Geek Speak has been brought to you by pixelstrips.com. 12 free comics every Wednesday. Stop by pixelstrips.com to get your comic fix with the best action, sci-fi, horror, and manga comics online. You guys are dirty bastards.
You're the one who... We didn't say a word.
We restrained ourselves today.
We were thinking it.
Yeah.
If you want to send us an email, it's comicgeekspeak@gmail.com. And thanks to the guys at upallnightgaming.com for hosting the website. And we did put some new t-shirts online. They're on the swag section of our website. And a reminder that we're brought to you in conjunction with worldfamouscomics.com, your spot on the internet for the best comic book and entertainment-related columns, contests, features, reviews, news, resources, and more. As always, we are uniting the world's mightiest heroes, one listener at a time.